So we want to come in and take those blinders off those investors that are just stuck on having to be that hands-on where they're the ones going out to the properties. And that's what we come in and do. We're able to shatter that geographical limitation that investors face across the country. But we also bring on guys that are sending us 10 orders a day where they need photos of properties.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Eat, Sleep, and Invest. I'm your host, Brian Driscoll. I'm here with Steve Cohen. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing, Brian?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm excited. I'm excited to talk today and discuss everything we got going on.
So, hey, Steve, you have InvestorBootz is the company name. Why don't you tell everybody, like, what you got, actually, even better yet, tell everybody how you got into this space and then what you do.
You know, I got into this space when I wanted to be an investor myself. You know, I wanted to get into wholesaling. And what I had done was I had built this amazing team behind me. I had the best attorney, the best CPA, dispo team, acquisitions team, transaction coordinator. I had all the pieces of the puzzle just locked and loaded, ready to go. And I was stuck when it was time to get somebody out to the property for photos or to get a document notarized or to get room measurements or anything like that. And it just goes back to the old saying, you're only as good as your weakest link. And that's kind of how I transitioned into figuring out how to come up with a nationwide boots on the ground service for real estate investors across the country.
So you're saying you do boots on the ground. Tell everybody exactly what do you guys do? Like what are people having you do and what, just so they know?
I think the best way to describe it is, look, as everybody knows, in the cutthroat world of real estate, timing is everything. Every second counts, especially when it comes to securing a motivated lead, pun intended. And so what happens is many sellers reach out on multiple platforms, and the fastest investor to respond and take immediate action wins the deal. And so at InvestorBootz, we offer a streamlined system to get boots on the ground immediately. When you guys are getting these leads, we're able to get somebody out on the ground for photos, to set up a lockbox, get your document notarized, 2D floor plans, room measurements. We're able to get somebody out on the ground same day. We are built for speed. And the bottom line is we're here to help investors capitalize on that crucial initial interest that the sellers have.
So you telling me, say a lead comes in with Sally, wants to sell her house. I'm in Pittsburgh. Say she's on the other side of the city. Like, hey, Sally, it sounds like a good thing. I don't know what I can offer you yet because I haven't seen your house. Normally, I would set up a time like next Thursday to call her or like go out and see her. You're saying I can say, hey, Sally, I'm going to send someone up there. They're going to take pictures, measure, all this kind of stuff, and give me the information, right?
Exactly. And we're going to be able to do that same day for you guys as well, too. We're operating on a nationwide scale. We make it so investors can rely on the same fast quality service, regardless of the location. We're in every city across the country. And just having that nationwide reach, this one nationwide resource is going to eliminate the need for investors to locate, hire, vet, and schedule boots on the ground in all of these remote markets that they want to invest in. Believe it or not, there are still people going on Google, Craigslist, Thumbtack, Angie's List, Yelp. They're going into Facebook message boards saying, hey, who's got boots on the ground in Westlake Village, California? Or they're picking up the phone and trying to ask agents for favors. They're wasting hours doing this stuff. And that's when we came into town, and we want to make it as easy as possible to scale and to close deals faster.
So I'm thinking this through in my head while we're talking. So I talk with this Sally, right? We send someone out there. Like, where in the phase do people involve you? Is it after the initial call? It's like, hey, you know what? It looks like it might be a fit. I'm going to send someone out there to take pictures and give me the info. They bring that back and I have another conversation with her to lock down the deal. Or like, where do you guys fit in the process?
That's a great question. So I have clients that do it at all different places in the process. Again, we're built for speed. So the investors that truly understand the power of having this resource are the ones that get the lead, they get their negotiation done, and they're getting eyes on the property same day. You know, because they're trying to avoid that lead popping up a week or 2 weeks later because that seller's still looking for somebody to act on that lead. They're trying to avoid that from happening, and they're just getting boots on the ground as quick as possible. So I have clients that are doing it same day. I also have clients that are, taking their time a little more. Maybe they're getting a document e-signed first. Maybe they're asking for different specs on the house or damages or photos of damages, stuff like that. So it's really going to come down to how you operate your business and how we can come in and kind of streamline that for you. But at the end of the day, I'm seeing the most success with my clients who are getting more deals to the finish line are the ones that are just locking up the deals and getting eyes and access to these properties as quick as possible. Because at the end of the day, they're able to say, hey, I can have a representative from my company out to your property tomorrow. And there's so much power in that because, again, as I said, timing is everything and every second counts these days with these leads.
So are you saying that the investor on the phone's like, hey, you know what, Sally, I'll give you, based on what you said, I can probably give you 100,000, but I need to send somebody out there to get eyes on it first. If everything's like what you said, we have a deal.
Exactly. And then we're going out, we're getting full photos outside, inside of the house. We're getting photos under the sinks, photos of the roof, the AC unit in the label, the furnace in the label. You know, the sellers are going to send you the photos they want you to see. They're going to tell you the info they want you to know. But once we go out there and we can really get some eyes on the property for you to not only visualize and inspect the property, but also use them for listing purposes, there's definitely some power, again, on the speed and being able to send somebody out immediately and act as quickly as possible on these motivated leads.
So I'm trying to think, are the investors sending people out as this is a person on my team, or are they positioning it more like, hey, this is a contractor that we're having to take pictures? Or what are they positioning the boots on the ground as whenever they're talking?
So I have some clients that like to do both. So some of our clients are going to say, hey, I'm going to have a team member out to your property today to get photos, set up a lockbox, and get this paperwork signed. Also, what happens is when you become a client of ours, you get access to my state-of-the-art scheduling portal where you place an order. It takes about 3 to 4 minutes to place an order. And what happens is you're going to leave the contact in there for my field agent to reach out to and set up a time. And we're also able to call that point of contact, who's typically the seller, and say, hey, we're a representative of motivated leads. As an example, we'd like to get out to your home to get some properties and set up a lockbox. So there's different touch points there where it's really personalized to the investors, where they're able to say, I can have a representative out to your home today. And then on the backside, where our field agent is calling it, also using the name and saying, hey, I'm calling on behalf of ABC Investing Corp. We want to get some photos and set up a lockbox of your property.
Okay. So yeah, multi-scenarios there. The guys you're sending out, like what type of people do you have boots on the ground? Like are they walking around in polos or t-shirts, or like what are they like?
So they're definitely going to show up professionally dressed. They're definitely not going to be wearing a tuxedo or a suit for that matter. But they're not going to be wearing board shorts and flip-flops. They're going to be professionally dressed. I do have some clients that are in certain markets. They only focus on a certain market. They've fallen in love with some of our field agents in the area. They've shipped them shirts that have their logo on them, and they show up to all the properties in that area for those clients with their custom embroidered shirts on. But at the end of the day, they're going to be dressed very professionally. There's a strict code of conduct they have to adhere to. They get rated after the orders from the clients, from us, and they know very well that rating is going to affect whether or not they ever receive another assignment from my company again.
Okay. That's interesting. That's a lot of moving parts. Like you figured a whole country. Like, tell me how does it work? Like, how do you guys have all these people that can get out there same day?
It's my reach. So currently my database is sitting on about 320 to 330,000 field agents located throughout the country who have signed up to do field agent work with my company. So that's how we're able to do it on such a massive scale, same day service nationwide. My protocol is typically to have somebody assigned after a client comes in and places an order. I want to have a field agent or a notary assigned to that order within 20 minutes. That's how fast we are. That being said, we did an order this morning. One of the services we provide is we record documents at county recorders' offices to cloud title. We did one this morning. The town is so small. The population was 50 in the state of Texas. And that one took a little longer to get assigned. I think that took an hour and a half, but we had to pay somebody a little extra to drive 2 hours from a neighboring city to go get it done.
What other services do you guys offer? Because you got boots on the ground to take pictures, but now you said you can go file at the field at the county and everything. What all do you guys do?
Great question. So again, the clients that truly understand the full potential of what we're able to do are the ones that have had us venture into these new areas, getting documents recorded. So we can do the basics, photos, lockboxes. We can do property showings. We can take room measurements. We can do 2D floor plans. We also do courier service. We have clients, let's say the seller lives an hour away. we can send somebody to go pick up a key from the seller, drive it to the house, and set up a lockbox to put the key in it. We get documents recorded at county recorders' offices. So again, it's just boots on the ground. We have a request to go to Big Bear, California this Saturday to winterize the property. Our client wants us to pour antifreeze down the drains to get it ready for winter. So it's boots on the ground. The sky's the limit. Those are the quote unquote in-house services we provide by our field agent. But also I made it possible for our clients to be able to manage multiple vendors under one roof. So what do I mean by that? We also have a nationwide network of professional service providers. Your locksmiths, your handyman, maid service, lawn service, clean out service. You're able to come into my scheduling portal and place an order for service anywhere in the country within about 3 to 4 minutes for all of those services as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We set up photos and Airbnbs and blankets. Our clients will have them delivered to our field agents. They go replace batteries and electric doors. So it's one of those services where, again, if you need boots on the ground, you need these odd jobs handled. The old days of going on Google, Craigslist, Thumbtack, all the message boards and asking for favor are over. This is a new era of boots on the ground.
That's nice. So, okay, so in an ideal world, it all works like super smooth. What are some of the complications? Because at scale, what are some of the things that, like, say a newer investor trying you out? It's like, hey, you know what? We're really good at this, but here's some of the things that we've experienced in the past that don't go as smooth, or how to handle them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're basically asking what are some of the things we struggle with?
Yeah. Like say a new investor is like, hey, we handle all this stuff because no business is perfect, especially at scale. It's like, hey, we can handle all these things, and then here's some of the things that are like roadblock or bumps in the road that may occur. For example, in a small town, it might take us 3 hours to get a guy out there instead of 30 minutes.
Yeah. So it's rare. Now, I've never turned anybody down for service. Out of the 1,000 orders we're doing, over 1,000 a month, I've never turned anybody down for service. We're always able to get somebody out there. But obviously, again, for the super remote towns, we are going to experience a delay. Especially after you're a client of ours, you understand how fast we are. Again, we are built for speed. So when you're used to getting somebody, you place an order and within 20 minutes, you have a field agent assigned to the order ready to go. And then you place an order for a super remote town and maybe takes an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours. That's definitely a situation, that comes up that causes an issue sometimes for us. It's not an issue, so to speak, where it isn't something we're able to do. But at the end of the day, we hate delays. Bottom line. We want to avoid delays for you guys as much as possible. So when it's taking us 2 or 3 hours to get something assigned because it's so remote, that's definitely an issue that we face from time to time. It is rare, but it does come up. But rest assured, my team is very well aware of how important speed is for all of you guys, for all of our investors that we work with. At the end of the day, as you know, what's happening is when someone's eager to sell their home quickly for cash, they're searching online everywhere and submitting their information on multiple sites. And so this is creating a race. And what's happening is their info is being sold as a lead to multiple investors who all have the same goal. And most sellers are motivated. And obviously they're facing some kind of urgent financial need. So this means they're likely to go with the first credible buyer who's going to have this nationwide resource for boots on the ground to get out and inspect the property, to get out and make your first appearance in person, set up a lockbox, get the documents notarized. And again, with InvestorBootz, you have that speed advantage. We give you an edge. We give you definitely a competitive edge over your competition. And we try to make it so you can make offers faster than your competitors and push more deals through the finish line.
Yeah, that's cool. On your client base, would you say most of the investors you have are dealing in their backyard and looking for people to go out? Or do you have a lot of people doing virtual, like me, if I'm investing in California, for example, whole way across the country? Like, what's primarily the type of avatar and investor you see has really good success?
For us, typically it's going to start with the guy in his backyard. And we want to shatter that geographical limitation. They're so focused on, they used to be the guy going out to the properties, and now they're trusting us. And so maybe they'll trust us to go out to a neighboring county or a neighboring bordering state. So we want to come in and take those blinders off those investors that are just stuck on having to be that hands-on where they're the ones going out to the properties. And that's what we come in and do. We're able to do that. We're able to shatter that geographical limitation that investors face across the country. But we also bring on guys that are sending us 10 orders a day where they need photos of properties. And basically, they're in a situation where they had a room full of people and their job was specifically to go on, every time they would lock up a property, they had a boiler room full of people who would go on Google, Craigslist, Thumbtack, all these websites and spend 40 minutes to an hour finding somebody, vetting them, hiring them, working out their schedule, working out the seller's schedule. And they've been able to remove that whole piece of the pie by just streamlining it through my company and spending anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes placing an order to get boots on the ground. So to answer your question, we're working with the guy who's in his backyard, trying to get him to scale to the next level. That's typically the life cycle we like to see of our clients. We want to see them adding users every month or quarterly, showing us that they're scaling. But we're also bringing on the big guys that are locking up a lot of deals, and we're helping them lean out. We're just helping them just lean out all that extra fat that they have that they don't need in their business and in their operations.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if I told you, I'm an investor. I only invest in my zip code. Like, I don't even go outside my zip code normally because I don't have the time to like go look at properties. The only reason I don't invest out of my zip code is because I don't want to drive 30 minutes.
Yeah, I don't blame, and look, that 30 minutes can be spent locking up another deal, so I get it. And also there's something to be said about you personally going out to the property. You can smell it, see it, hear it for yourself, get the right photos that you want for listing purposes. But when it comes to getting ready to scale, if that's something that your clients or your audience is interested in, when it comes to getting ready to scale and start doubling, tripling, 10x your numbers, at a certain point, you have to let go and bring in a new system to speed things up for you and help you scale.
Okay, so in your system, someone books. 2 questions for you. Number 1, how do they communicate with a person? Do they communicate directly or through your platform?
So basically, after you place an order, I'm really big on communication. You're going to receive an email immediately letting you know we've received the order. The second email you receive is going to be after the field agent or notary has been assigned. You're going to get an email letting you know, hey, this order has been assigned to John Doe. You're going to get their phone number and you're going to get their email address and their photo. So you can reach out to them if you want to. You receive a third email after they've confirmed the appointment time and location, just to give you peace of mind. Everything is set and ready to go. And then lastly, your fourth email is going to be a link to your photos, your room measurements, your document we got notarized, or whatever service you ordered from us. So typically all the communication is going to happen in the scheduling portal. Each order is self-contained within its own order in the portal. So what's beautiful about that is you're never going to have to go back and look over old text messages or old emails to find out, okay, what's the status of this property? You can click the property address, log in, and see exactly the status update.
All right, cool. And I'm guessing people probably even use YouTube for like annual inspections on rentals, things like that.
Yeah, definitely. We're starting to work a lot more with insurance companies, and we have a big project lined up with some property managers at the start of 2025 as well. But yeah, absolutely. Again, it's sky's the limit. We have the boots on the ground. Your wish is our command. Place the order. And if we can make it happen for you, if it's not on our menu, we're going to make it happen for you. We're going to do whatever it takes.
Nice. Now, what's a cost? Like, I know each is going to be different, but what should people expect ballpark? Or how do you do your pricing?
Yeah. So we're able to offer flat fees nationwide. I've negotiated with all of my field agents and all my notaries. So everybody knows that they're going to get paid and all of my clients know what they're going to be paying. That's all of my in-house services. The photos, the lock boxes, the property showings, notarizations, room measurements. Again, all of those in-house services that we provide, we offer flat fees on. I would say anywhere nationwide, we're able to go get same day photos for you for $160.
That's pretty cheap.
That's going to be same day service. Of course, where I'm unable to offer flat fees is with the professional services, like a locksmith. That's going to be dependent on the number of locks. Or maid service. That's going to be dependent on how dirty the house is. But what we do is we leverage our nationwide database of all these pro service providers. We send out the request in the area. We'll get back about 4 or 5 quotes. We shoot you back the lowest quote. And if you approve it, we're going to streamline it and we're going to oversee the project from start to finish for you.
Nice.
Yeah, a document. If you want to get a document notarized online, we offer remote online notarization. We do in-person notarizations. It starts at $80 to send somebody to your house, so your sellers can sign in the convenience of their home, their work. Maybe they're in the hospital, wherever they're at. Photos in a lockbox, I believe, is $200. But yeah, we offer flat fees nationwide and across the board.
Okay, that's all really reasonable. One other question. So you send someone out for photos. If I'm sending someone out for photos to get me condition of a property versus list the property, that's usually a different type of photographer, a type of camera, stuff like that. Like, do you have people that are specifically for like listing photos versus inspections?
So we have tweaked our photo instruction sheet. I mean, we're still tweaking it almost on we're tweaking it on a monthly basis. Okay. So our field agents go out with high quality camera phones and they take photos and they stand in a minimum of 2 corners of each room and get photos of different angles. They zoom out to 0.5. They're given very specific instructions. They shoot landscape. So what I'm getting at is anytime something happens that we don't want to see happen again, there's a new line item added to my instructions. So my instructions are bomb-proof at this point. So we're able to send a field agent out with a high-quality camera phone. And I would say 90% of our clients use those photos not only for inspection purposes, but they're also using those camera phone photos for listing purposes as well. Now, we also offer professional MLS photography services nationwide as well too, where we're going to find a pro photographer in the area. They're going to go out with a high definition SLR camera, take anywhere from 30 to 35 photos of the property as well too. So we have those 2 services we can offer. But again, 90% of my clients go with the high quality camera phone photos because our instructions are so clear and we're able to get out there and get photos under the sinks. They'll zoom in on damages, photos of the roof, AC unit in the label, the furnace in the label, any cracks in the foundation that they see, really detailed photos like that.
Okay, cool. So basically, whatever the person's situation is, you have somebody that can handle it. If they want a pro photographer, you can help with that. If they want a normal person with a iPhone 15 Pro or whatever, you can handle that too.
Yeah, exactly. You would let us know whatever you need.
Cool. All right, we're about out of time. What's the best way for people to connect if they wanted to check out your services?
Yeah, I'd say go to InvestorBootz.com. That's InvestorBootz with a Z. Check us out. Phone number's there. Contact form is there. Fill it out. Reach out to us. You'll hear from us same day. You get signed up to use our scheduling portal. It's free to use. Pay as you go. No subscription fees or anything like that. But please find us online, InvestorBootz.com.
All right, cool. InvestorBootz with a Z, like zebra.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, Steve, last question. What's the top book you'd recommend to people?
Top book. I mean, my favorite book of all time is the classic Think and Grow Rich. However, right now, I really would recommend for real estate investors out there, a CEO does 3 things.
Yeah, that is a good one too. All right. Well, hey, thanks, Steve. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Brian. I appreciate you.
Good stuff. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening. Until next time, get out there, crush it, close some deals. We'll see you guys.